very ugly for Major League Baseball. And the big news coming from New York, Alfonso Soriano, who used to play for the Yankees, is now back as a Yankee. He was traded today, and that deal did go through. Alex Rodriguez has accepted the rehab plan, so the news just continues to get worse between the Yankees and Alex Rodriguez because Alex Rodriguez has believed all along that he believes that the Yankees are turning against him. Could that mean that the Yankees are trying to figure out ways to get rid of him? It would appear so. But the only person who can do that is Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig. The other news to report, Philadelphia Phillies are getting news about Cliff Lee. He is a possible trade possibility, and there are a number of teams who are interested in acquiring the veteran pitcher. And let me tell you the teams that we got here. Boston is one, Atlanta, Cleveland, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that's the news for Major League Baseball as far as Cliff Lee is concerned. We move into the NBA. How about this? LeBron James has overtaken Kobe Bryant as the NBA's most popular player. After winning back-to-back championships, I guess it makes sense. And another thing with LeBron James is he is also going to be the music curator for the NBA 2K14 game. So there you go, Browning. That just for you, buddy. And Derrick Rose says, you know what? I think I'm the best player in the NBA. In the NFL, Tim Tebow made news today. He's joining the talk, and he said he was just stunned, saddened, and bewildered and heartbroken about what Aaron Hernandez did, as that news from New England continues to be bad and continues to make sad news all over Boston and all over New England. But like Belichick and Brady said, it's time for the New England Patriots to move on and focus on 2013. Adrian Peterson, as we pointed out, says, you know what? I believe players use HGH, and we need to have a testing system to see if players are actually taking the performance-enhancing drug. For Sports World Radio on this Friday, I'm Sean Mann, your update man. Now back to you, Jeff Eskow, host of the Sports World Radio.
That update was brought to you by BuyHuntingEquipment.com. For all your camping, fishing, hunting, and outdoor gear, head on over to BuyHuntingEquipment.com. That's BuyHuntingEquipment.com. All right, welcome back to the show. Before we went to the update, we were talking about Major League Baseball crap and all that good stuff. I want to get away from that and go into our topic if we can there, Mr. Sean.
Sure. And the big news, of course, coming today from baseball, Alfonso Soriano going back to New York, and I'm pretty sure we can get away from that for a while, and then Jeff will have an opinion about that. The next topic we get to, Jeff sent me this topic. Pretty cool how they kind of look at the players from Boston and Chicago, but we'll start with Chicago. The 10 most popular athletes in Chicago sports history.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to do that? Because I thought, look, Andrew wanted us to get into some NFL talk because he has something about the NFL. He goes, I went to NFL.com that the Eagles have got Felix Jones from the Cowboys.
Okay, we can go into that. We'll get into the... All right, so the Eagles get Felix Jones, and whatever Philadelphia needs to be competitive, they're going to know that this is going to be a tight NFC East race. They know that it's going to be Giants.
You know what's the weird thing about this? Is
Redskins.
Nobody knows what the hell Philadelphia is going to be doing because they got a new head coach. He's got the college offense crap. Nobody knows what the hell is going to go on. It's going to be kind of fun to see what happens. I'm not too thrilled with it because it's in my division here. Felix Jones going over to the Eagles from the Cowboys, okay. I don't think there's going to be a great impact over there, but we'll see what happens. I'm not too thrilled with Philadelphia and nobody knowing what they're going to be coming with. That's the only thing that's really I'm worried about. Once they figure that out, then I'll be okay. But until that happens, we're going to have a little bit of problem. And that's going to be against everybody. Not just Giants or the Cowboys or the Redskins. That's against the whole NFL. You don't know what this guy's got planned. All you got to do is watch college, his college offense. But still, that's all you got is his college offense. Now you got to see how they do it in the pros. So the preseason, these 4 games are going to be very important for Philadelphia. but also for the NFL. See you later, Dr. Myth, but also for the NFL to watch and see what's going on.
My concern with the Eagles is you're right. What will they look like? New coach, system, and it's going to be interesting to see how well they do without Andy Reid, because Andy Reid had been the longest Philadelphia Eagles head coach, I don't know, for a long time, and we'll see how Philadelphia looks. But in the NFC East, I think it's just a two-team race. The Cowboys don't concern me. I don't think they're going to be big. Jerry Jones talking smack as usual, saying that he guarantees and believes the Cowboys will win a Super Bowl.
Crazy,
I don't believe that. My belief is that in the NFC East, it'll pretty much come down between the Giants and the Redskins.
And the Redskins are not starting RG3 at all during the preseason, which to me is either good or bad.
In my opinion, Jeff, I think it's a good move for the Redskins, primarily because they don't want to see him get hurt. They want him to be healthy throughout the whole season. And remember, he was the guy who led the Redskins all the way to the NFC East Division title last year. They had to win 7 straight games. They won all of them just to get that final spot taken care of and win the division. Of course, then it ended when they lost to Seattle at home back in January.
No, I know sitting him out is a good thing so he doesn't get hurt, but sitting him out is also a bad thing because he's not going to have any timing with these wide receivers, and you know what I mean? Not going to have no timing. He's not going to have no quote-unquote game experience before he goes and plays his first game. I don't think it's such a smart thing. I think if they're smart, they sit him out the first 3 games and play him give him at least, couple of downs in the last one to get his rhythm started at least, because it's a rhythm, and if he hasn't played, he's not going to be the same kind of. It's not the same speed. It's very fast. He's not going to be. It's going to take him it might take him a quarter or 2 to get into his rhythm, and that could hurt. Or it might take him a game or 2 to get into his rhythm, and that could hurt. So it could be a good thing or a bad thing for sitting him out. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, but again, the NFC East, in my opinion, it's a 2-team race. I think it's going to pretty much come down between the Redskins and the Giants, and I think it's going to be a heck of a race. Dallas, they haven't proven anything to us. We always think that Dallas is going to be a very, very good team and that they are expecting to return back to the days of Leon Lett and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Deion Sanders and, those days. But, Dallas, if you're saying Romo is your future quarterback and you're saying that he's going to be the guy who will lead your team, let's see it. He's only won 1 playoff game, and Dallas has not done very well of late when it's come to making it to the playoffs.
It's going to be an interesting season. Hey, really quick.
Yeah.
The Redskins defensive end, Jarvis Jenkins, suspended 4 games for violating National Football League's PED's policy. I'm looking at it right now. The National Football League announced that Washington Redskins defensive end Jarvis Jenkins has been suspended for the first 4 games of the 2013 regular season after violating the league's policy against performance-enhancing substances. When I learned that I tested positive for the substance that is banned under the NFL policy, I was shocked and confused. Jenkins said in a statement released by the Redskins, "It's an obscure substance that I've never even heard of, and I still don't know how it got into my body. My only guess is that it came from one of the supplements I was taking around the time of the test, even though none of them listed anything banned. I'm very sorry for the effect of this situation on my teammates and coaches, and I also apologize to my family and all the Redskin fans. I will be very, very ready to contribute as soon as I get back for Game 5. Jenkins is eligible to participate in preseason, but will miss games against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, and the Oakland Raiders. Jenkins will be eligible to return to the Redskins roster on September 30th. The Redskins have a bye in Week 5.
So it'd pretty much be week 6 when he comes back.
Correct. During the 4-game suspension, Jenkins will forfeit $167,000 of his $709,000 base salary this season. The Redskins could also seek repayment of $116,000 of the $1.978 signing bonus Jenkins received in 2011. So there, one guy's going down. They got another guy in Denver that went down because of it, right?
Yeah. And you got to keep in mind, that article that I had, the topic we had about Adrian Peterson, kind of going back to it, this was a good thing you brought up, Jeff, because this is exactly what all the leagues need to do, because if players are getting caught with it, it's ruining the game. We're seeing it with baseball right now. We're seeing it with the NFL, since Adrian Peterson just said it, and the NBA and soccer and NASCAR. All of the sports leagues, they have got to get rid of this and find a way to end the steroid crisis. Otherwise, if not, it's going to get worse and worse, and it's going to hurt the players. But most importantly, it's hurting the fans who like to follow the professional sports leagues.
Right, and 2 players, Jarvis Jenkins, right? And what was the guy from Denver? What was his name?
He was. Oh gosh,
two guys. 2 guys. Okay.
I'll look it up and see if I can find it for you.
2 guys have just been suspended for PEDs, for violating the policy. That's 2 guys. Hello.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
No, I'm not saying hello to you. I'm just saying hello. 2 guys in the NFL. How many more are doing it? Maybe somebody should be checking into this crap, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody should be checking into this.
Checking into it and just, launching an investigation.
Yes,
even launching it on Capitol Hill.
Start investigating so you can freaking, what? Get the hell out of here. I'm sorry, but this headline just stopped me dead in my tracks, kids. I'm going to read the headline to you. And Sean, get ready to laugh and move away from your mic so you don't screw it up, because you're going to laugh your ass off. The headline that stopped me dead in my tracks says, Tony Romo would like to be an offensive coordinator someday.
Really? Wow.
Stopped me dead in my tracks. Dead in my tracks. Are you kidding me? Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo is expected to get more involved in the game planning this season. Someday he'd like to be the person who's in charge of game plans.
Oh, jeepers.
Really? Romo will have some say in which plays end up in the game plan this year, and people who know him say that's something that he's hoped leads to a career in coaching when his playing career is over. I hope he has the worst freaking season in his life right now. I hope he has his worst season in his career this year.
Browning is just sitting there shaking his head going, really? Are you serious?
Cowboys
and I'm like
owner,
sitting there too. At least I'm not spitting a drink out.
Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says he'd like to see Romo become more like Peyton Manning in his approach to the game. Romo has never given the kind of play calling responsibilities that Manning has had for most of his career. But maybe that's a responsibility Romo will have when his playing days are done. The hell out of here. Okay, so
forget Jerry Old Jones.
So now at the bottom of this article, it says there's 32 responses to Tony Romo would like to be an offensive coordinator someday. Okay, so here's one comment. I see Tony Romo more as a defensive coordinator. He really knows how to get into the cornerback's hands. Another one says, are you attempting to punk your readers? Pro Football Talk? Because that's where this article is from, Pro Football Talk. Romo to QB. Run around once the play starts and see if you can make anything happen. If you fail, sit on the ground and look sad.
That is so funny. So